come back home now and talk about the 20th National Sports Festival. Cecilia has always been sure this event will go ahead despite the coronavirus pandemic. But yesterday she was stunned when the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare, announced the postponement on the order of the President of Nigeria. Cecilia, not surprised to me whatsoever.
Yeah, I
wonder if you have overcome that shock. I know you're a bit shocked to find out Edo 2020 will not be starting on Sunday.
You know, I had hopes when the Minister for Health, Usagi Hanire, on Friday, his last press briefing and all that from Monday and everything, when he talked about the fact that, look, we don't have a peculiar situation that will warrant such. And so the sport festival was going to go ahead. Now, what happened yesterday, the third case of coronavirus was confirmed in Lagos and all that. And with that, everyone is afraid. They don't want the spread. And that's why the sport minister had to meet with the health minister and they decide and say, okay, look, what is best for the athletes? What is best for the country? What is best for everyone? And the best decision they could come up with was postponement. The dates will learn later, right?
Yeah, no date.
No date yet.
As of now, no date. So we'll keep, I guess, to the ground. As soon as we get our data, we'll be letting our viewers know. Let's now go and listen to the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare, speaking on why and how they reached this decision to postpone the National Sports Festival.
The Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, because of the Edo 2020 National Sports Festival, has been in close touch and consultation with the Ministry of Health, particularly with both the Minister of Health and the Minister of State Health. We've also been in consultation with the Governor of Edo State, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, the LOC, and the MOC. But we have had the Ministry of Health take the lead. Based on daily review, based on developments, we got assurances that we could go ahead. But because we're dealing with a dynamic situation, this morning, we had a meeting at the Ministry of Health, in the office of the Minister of Health, with the Minister of State Health present, myself, the Permanent Secretary, and the DG NCDC. Shortly after the meeting, which lasted about 45 minutes, we proceeded to the Presidency to brief Mr. President. After briefing Mr. President took the decision and gave the directive that the National Sports Festival, Christine Edo 2020, should be postponed as a precautionary move against the spread of COVID-19. A new date for Edo 2020 will be announced later.
Yeah, later indeed, and it's all about taking every possible precautionary measure to, prevent the spread of this pandemic, which is, like everyone knows, is spreading. And the minister also talked about how we're dealing with a dynamic situation. That means things change really quickly. Yesterday, we didn't know there was going to be a third case, and that just appeared from out of the blues. And, I totally understand why they have taken the decision. Absolutely. I think it's just common sense. And if you take a look at reactions from people, Twitter, social media, and the likes, they totally agree with it. As a matter of fact, a lot of them feel they should have postponed this before yesterday. And it is what it is right now. Cecilia, I know you're very disappointed.
But then, okay, pictures you're saying is immediately after the sports minister announced that in Abuja, in Edo State. Of course, the organizers, the chairman of the LOC, Philip Shoaibu, that's the deputy governor of Edo State. He had to, call a meeting announcing that they will obviously comply with the federal government directive. They can't go ahead, of course, without the federal government supporting it. So let's hear from him what he had to say and how, they prepared so much, but then they don't have a choice than to follow, what has been directed by the federal government.
You're all aware that we have been on top of all virus diseases in our state. We have a very sound health team that have been doing very well in the area of Lassa fever, which prevention of coronavirus is similar to that of Lassa fever. So we have been on top of our game, and our health workers have been trained and ready to deal with the issue during the games. But we have to be sensitive to what the world is saying about the coronavirus. We have decided to err on the side of caution and also show some sensitivity to the plight of other countries dealing with this challenge. Details on the new date for the National Sport Festival will be communicated after the consultation with relevant government agency and other bodies, federation. I want to thank you for being with us in all the period we started the preparation of this game, and to assure Nigerians that Edo is always safe in terms of security, in terms of health, and Edo will be hosting, by the grace of God, the most acclaimed, best tournament Nigeria will ever had.
Okay, well,
There you go.
There you go.
Postponement is never a good thing.
No, it's not.
But we understand why. And some athletes, foreign-based athletes, are already in town to feature in this event. They're going to have to wait now. But they don't even know how long they're waiting. That's what makes it very complicated.
It's so unfortunate that we're all depending on COVID-19 to go away, overseeing medication or something, found for it before we can actually go on with our lives, with sport, with anything and all that is ravaging everywhere. But then we spoke with some sport journalists immediately after that, and this is the reaction to the postponement.
It's a brilliant decision. For the fact that it is dicey because of the gestation period of 2 weeks. We've been COVID-19 free now, from what we know. When we have such a large gathering of people, just one person can cause so much damage, and the odds are that we won't know until after this crowd of people have gone to their different states. And because of the way our health system is, and for the fact that a lot of these guys are coming from towns that have little or no well-established health system, it will be a disaster if that festival becomes a breeding ground for this virus.
Well, I think at this point in time, it's good to err on the side of caution. I think it's a sensible decision. There are arguments for and against, but I think it's good to err on the side of caution, especially if what we hear that foreign athletes who ply their trade wherever will be allowed to come and represent some states. I think that puts an X factor in there. And because of the incubation period of 2 weeks, we just heard about the actor Idris Elba, who hasn't shown any symptoms, but he tested positive for coronavirus. So a lot of people would have the virus, but they have not tested positive. So, and when you have a huge gathering of people, and they're young people mostly, I think it's just good to let's wait. Let's rush things. Let's see whether this thing will die down. We know we have a good record in Nigeria. It's not an epidemic in Nigeria, but I just think it's good to err on the side of caution. Personally, I ask myself the question, if my son or daughter was going to go for those games, will I be comfortable? The question is no.
All right, you've heard from that, Bode and also DG Omotuibomi. They're obviously happy that it's been postponed.
Yeah, no, they're not the only ones. Trust me, a lot of people that I've spoken to as well too are very, very okay with the decision to postpone the National Sports Festival. Before we leave coronavirus and everything, all the havoc it's causing, let's give you a confirmation of the latest events that have been disrupted by COVID-19, starting obviously with the National Sports Festival, our own Olympics. That's not going to hold. It's not going to start on Sunday anymore. And we will definitely be hoping to start really soon, so it's not pushed too late into the year. Also, the Euro 2020 postponed until 2021. We talked about that extensively already. The Argentina Superliga has been postponed and suspended as well. You also have the Copa America until 2021. Copa America, we're looking forward to seeing Neymar, Messi, Willian, and all these incredible South American footballers in action. We're going to have to wait till 2021 to see that as well. French Open delayed until September. Cecilia is can't
sucker
seem
of it all.
to wrap her head around that decision. Of course, the Major League Baseball opening day has been moved to, at the earliest, mid-May as well. And last but not the least, 2020 CHAN, that's the tournament for home-based footballers, that has been postponed until further notice. Cecilia, wow.
That's it. Maybe more might just happen.
Of course.
Coming today, especially from Nigeria and, of course, from some African countries. We didn't expect National Sports Festival was going to be the first victim. We're still waiting what's going to happen to other events currently going on in Nigeria. Now, let's leave that, and there's still,
one of those events that will be, a lot of people are looking at, seeing if they're actually going to stop it for now. It's the Nigerian Professional Football League, and that's where we're going next. The NFF inaugurating a committee to investigate the circumstances surrounding the death of Chineme Martins, the Nasarawa United defender who passed away in a league match a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, they know what they need to do to be able to, come up with a good recommendation and the reason and everything. Let's hear from, the committees and also NFF President Majipenik on this one.
This committee. I'm very happy with the caliber of persons in this committee. I don't believe Nigeria can have anything better than what we have right now. And it behoves on you in ensuring that whatever you come out with, we will duly, because like I said, we are the part of the NFF. It is not only us. The ministry will superintend whatever we are doing in ensuring that we have 100% compliance in whatever you are going to come out with. We don't just want a situation where you do this today, you bring an ambulance, well kitted today, then the next day you bring a hearse, These are some of the issues that we must look at that must be sustainable.
I believe it's a great honor on our part to have been selected to perform this assignment. Today, certainly will go down in the annals of Nigerian football. It's a very, very historic and remarkable day. I say this because, yes, in the past we've recorded so many deaths, some not even recorded, and there are even more than those that are recorded.